Hi friends, myself Sainath Lambade, and today we are going to discuss about the human ear. And in the human ear, we are going to discuss about the internal ear. In today's lecture, this is a part 2 lecture of human ear, and in this human ear, we are going to discuss about internal ear or inner ear. This internal ear has been divided into mainly two regions or two parts, that is a bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth. Actually, this membranous labyrinth is present in the bony labyrinth. So, it is said that bony labyrinth contains membranous labyrinth. So labyrinth means it is a canal-like structure that is called as a labyrinth, as we discussed in the last lecture. So under this bony labyrinth, which parts comes? That is the first one, that is a cochlea, then vestibule, then semicircular canal. Then this bony labyrinth is filled with perilymph. This bony labyrinth is filled with the fluid. That fluid is called as a perilymph. Then which part comes under the membranous labyrinth? That is a cochlear duct, that is called as a scala media. Then utricle and saccule. These are the sensory parts which are mainly present in the vestibule, that comes under the membranous labyrinth. Then semicircular ducts, that also comes under the membranous labyrinth. Then this membranous labyrinth is filled with a fluid that is known as a endolymph. That fluid is known as a endolymph. It is also called labyrinth because of its complicated series of canal. Why it is called as a labyrinth? This internal ear is called as a labyrinth because it shows a series of canals. That shows a series of canals like this in the rounded structure, that is called as a labyrinth. Structurally, it consists of two main division, outer and inner division. Outer, that is made up of bony labyrinth, and this bony labyrinth is filled with a perilymph, and inner, that is a membranous labyrinth, and this membranous labyrinth is filled with a endolymph. So point is clear. Then followed by this, we are going to discuss about the bony labyrinth. Now in this we are going to discuss about the bony labyrinth. It is a series of cavities. It is a series of cavities in the petrous portion of the temporal bone, divided into three areas. Actually, this bony labyrinth, that is actually present in the petrous portion of the temporal bone. Actually, this is present in the temporal region of the bone, and that temporal bone, in which particular region? That is a petrous portion of the temporal bone. So this semicircular canal, then vestibule, both of which contain a receptor for the equilibrium. Actually, in the vestibule there are the two receptors are present, that is a utriculus and sacculus. Utriculus and sacculus are the receptors, and which are responsible for the maintaining of the balance and equilibrium of the body. Cochlea has a receptor of hearing. Cochlea is also having the presence of receptor that is responsible for the hearing. Which receptor is present in the cochlea? That is an organ of Corti or spiral organ. The another name for the organ of Corti, that is a spiral organ. Bony labyrinth is lined by periosteum. Externally, this bony labyrinth is lined by the periosteum and contains perilymph. That contains a perilymph. As we have studied in the study of animal tissue, the bone is outerly covered by the periosteum. Then this cochlea is a bony spiral canal. Cochlea is a bony spiral canal that resembles snail shell, that look like a snail shell. It makes almost 3 turns. How many turns are present in the cochlea? Actually, there are, this is a 1 turn, this one is the another second, and this last one is the third turn. So this having the presence of three turns in the around the central bony called as a modulus. This centrally, that center is called as a modulus. modulus, modulus. This central point is meeting here, that is known as a modulus. It has a central cochlear duct called as a scala media. Inside these cochlea, there is having a one tube like a duct present inside this cochlea, and that is called as a scala media. Scala media. Sorry, scala media. Then scala media divides cochlea into two compartments. Actually, this scala media divides the cochlea into two compartments. The upper is the scala vestibuli, middle is the scala media, and lower is the, that is the scala tympani. As we have taken a one straight tube of this cochlea, we have done the taken a straight tube of this cochlea, and at this upper side you might be seeing here, that is in the center there is having the presence of this tube of cochlea, that is the scala media, and upper side there is having the presence of scala vestibuli. At the lower there is having the presence of scala tympani. So at scala media, at the roof of scala media, there is having the presence of one membrane, and this membrane is called as a Reginer's membrane. This membrane is called as a Reginer's membrane, and at the lower there is again at the floor there is having a one membrane, that is called as a basilar membrane. We are going to discuss in this another this slide. Okay, so cochlea, the scala vestibuli and scala tympani meet at the tip of the cochlea. This scala vestibuli and scala tympani meet at the cochlea, meet at the tip of the cochlea called as a helicoderma. That is called as a helicoderma. Your trema, you may say it is a helicoderma also. Helicotrema. Helicoderma. That means at the tip of the cochlea, as I have drawn in the last lecture, these circles, three circles are there, and this is called as a tip of that particular, and this tip is called as a helicoderma. Scala vestibuli and scala tympani contains perilymph. Actually, these are the part of the examples of the bony labyrinth, and this bony labyrinth contains a perilymph. So scala vestibuli and scala tympani contains perilymph. Scala media contains endolymph. This is at the present center, and this is form of membranous labyrinth, so it contains endolymph. So scala media contains endolymph. As you are seeing the diagram here, the straight tube of this cochlea, we have taken one straight tube, and this has been divided into three regions. The uppermost region, that is known as scala vestibuli, lower that is called as a scala tympani, and this middle, that is the scala media. The roof of the scala media is form of one membrane. That membrane is called as a Reginer's membrane, that is called as a Reginer's membrane, and the base of the scala media is form of basilar membrane, that is a form of basilar membrane. And at this basilar membrane there are having the presence of this cells, which are the columnar cells, and they are called as organ of Corti. This organ of Corti are present at the basilar membrane of the scala media, and they are having the upper covering. That upper covering is called as a tectorial membrane, that is called as a tectorial membrane. This uppermost covering on this organ of Corti, that is called as a tectorial membrane. Then base of the scala media is form of basilar membrane, and roof of the scala media is form of Reginer's membrane. So we'll see about the organ of Corti, or this organ of Corti is also called as a spiral organ. It is a actual sense organ. This organ of Corti actually the sense organ for the hearing, and the organ of Corti is a coiled sheet of epithelial cell including supporting cells. they are having the supporting cell to the organ of corti, and about 16,000 hair cells which are in the receptors of the hearing. In each cell there are having about 16,000 hair cells present in the this scala media. It is present inside the scala media on the basilar membrane throughout the length. These organ of corti cells are actually present in the scala media, and they are present in the basilar membrane throughout the this basilar membrane, and there are about 16,000 hair cells present in the basilar membrane. It is present inside the scala media of the basilar membrane throughout the length. This one cell, this is a columnar type, and these cells are having the microvilli on their head region. They are having the presence of microvilli, and this microvilli is having a particular name, and this name is stereocilia. The name is stereocilia, stereociilli, stereocilia. They are like stairs. They are arranged in the height, the some particular height. They are arranged like this. I will draw for you again. They are in the first one is a smaller, second little bit bigger, third, fourth and fifth, they are in the like a stair. So these are called as a stereocilia. As you know, the microvilli are the cytoplasmic extension. They show the cytoplasmic extensions, and this microvilli like finger like projections which help in the increasing the surface area. Then again, the organ of corti, it has the following types of cells. Organ of corti is having the following types of cells. First one, sensory hair cells, and these sensory hair cells are called as a mechanoreceptors. They receive the mechanical stimulus. So mechanoreceptors. Then supporting cells or the cells of Hensen. The supporting cells are having the name that is the cells of Hensen, and basal cells or Dieter cells. They are called as a Dieter cells. So followed by this we are going to discuss now. At the apical tip of each hair cell are 40 to 80 stereocilia. At particular this cell where we are going to draw the cell, sensory cells, and at this there are having the presence of this stereocilia. In each cell there are having about 40 to 80 stereocilia that extend into the endolymph of the cochlear duct. They are extended into the, there is having the scala vestibule, there is having the presence of endolymph, and they are extended into the endolymph. This tectorial membrane is flexible gelatinous membrane covers the hair cells. Tectorial membrane covers these hair cells from the upper side, and this is a gelatinous membrane covers the hair cell of the organ of corti. This vestibular apparatus, actually this vestibular apparatus consists of two things, that is a vestibule and semicircular canal. Actually vestibular apparatus is form of two things, that is a vestibule and semicircular canals. These are the three semicircular canal, that is anterior, posterior and horizontal or lateral. We'll see now this one by one. Vestibule is a oval central portion of the bony labyrinth. In the bony labyrinth, centrally placed material that is known as a vestibule, and this vestibule is present in the central portion of the bony labyrinth. Membranous labyrinth in the vestibule consists of two sacs. In this this is a part of vestibule, and in this vestibule there is having the presence of two sacs, and these two sacs are called as a utricule and saccule, which connected by the small ducts, and these are connected to upper this semicircular ducts that is joined to this utricule and saccule. Then we'll see these are the semicircular canals. This is a anterior one, this is anterior, this is a posterior, and this is a lateral. This is a lateral. So anterior, semicircular, posterior and lateral one. And these you are seeing a balloon type of shape. This is called as a vestibule, and in vestibule they are having the presence of two sensory organs. These two sensory organs are the utricule in the upper side, and lower side there is having the presence of saccule, and these snail like structure that is called as a cochlea, and cochlea's work is only with the of hearing, that is related with only hearing. And these semicircular canal and vestibule that do the work of maintaining balance and equilibrium. So this is related with the maintaining balance and equilibrium. So semicircular canal is a part of bony labyrinth, and semicircular duct is a part of membranous labyrinth. As you are seeing there, this black color, that is actually semicircular canal. Inside that there is having the presence of one tube, and this tube is called as a semicircular duct, and this semicircular duct is a part of membranous labyrinth and semicircular canal. Upper side this is a canal that is a part of bony labyrinth. Point to be clear. At one end of each canal there is a swollen enlargement called as a ampulla. At each and every there is having the showing the swollen structure, and this swollen structure is called as a ampulla. I have written here, this is a ampulla. Swollen, each canal shows, each duct shows a swollen structure, and that is called as a ampulla. In this ampulla there is having the presence of sensory organ that is called as a cristae. There is having the presence of cristae in this ampulla. Then last we are going to discuss now. So vestibular apparatus, actually this vestibular apparatus maintaining of equilibrium, the work of vestibular apparatus is maintaining of equilibrium. Actually this vestibule is divided into two types, that is vestibule and semicircular duct. This vestibule, or that is called vestibule, again divided into two parts. There is having the in vestibule there are two parts, that is the utricule and saccule, as we have discussed in the last that part. And this, both of these when come together and they form the otolith organ, they form a otolith organ together, which utricle and saccule, these are the sensory organs which are mainly present in the vestibule. And in the semicircular duct there is a they do the work of maintains a dynamic equilibrium, they maintains a dynamic equilibrium, and this vestibule maintain a static equilibrium, maintains a static equilibrium. Types of equilibrium, there are having two types of equilibrium, static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. For the example of the static equilibrium, when we brake the car and we maintain our body from going forward, whenever we are sitting in a car or we brake for some speed breaker, at that time we control our body, that is called as a static equilibrium. So equilibrium with the gravity and the speed, this is called as a equilibrium with the gravity and the speed we control. When we sleep, we don't put our body totally on the bed, we slowly put our body on the bed. This is also known as the equilibrium with the gravity of speed. And this dynamic equilibrium with respect to the rotational acceleration, as you seated in the round jhulas, and that is moving roundly very fast, at that time our body extend outside but we take it inside, that kind of a example is related with the dynamic equilibrium. So otolith organ, that is a vestibule I have drawn here, this is a macula part present in that particular, and on this macula there is having the presence of this organ of Corti, and there are the microvillis, and there is having a one covering, and this covering is known as that is having a otolith membrane. This macula actually the sensory part which is present in the otolith, and this macula is having the presence of that utricule and saccule, and there is having the one covering on that also, and there is having the presence of crystals in that membrane, otolith membrane. There is having the presence of calcium carbonate, the crystals of calcium carbonate. And in vestibule has a sensory spot, in vestibule sensory spot, that is called as a macula utricule and macula saccule. This is a part of both vestibule. So vestibules, these are the cells which are hair cells which are seated on this macular region of the particular utricule and saccule, and there is having the presence at the end or that base, there is having the presence of sensory neuron, and they carry the sensory impulse towards the brain, with that is also called as a vestibular nerve, that is also known as a vestibular nerve. With the joint we say the vestibulocochlear nerve, or we say that it is a auditory nerve, auditory nerve. Now we are going to discuss about the semicircular duct, we are going to discuss about the semicircular duct. And you are seeing this outer one portion, that is called as a semicircular canal. Inside that tube, inside the semicircular canal, that tube is called as a semicircular duct, and there shows a swollen structure, and this swollen structure is called as a ampulla, and in this ampulla there is having the presence of sensory spot, that is called as a cristae, sensory spot, that is called as a cristae, and this cristae are having a one membrane covering, that is called as a cupula membrane on that. And there is also having the presence of sensory neuron which carry the impulse towards the brain. So all together of the cochlear auditory nerve and that this vestibular cochlear nerve, these are together, they carry impulse towards the brain. So that name for that is given that vestibulocochlear nerve, or directly you can say it as a auditory nerve. And this auditory nerve is a cranial nerve at the cranial nerve. Macula and cristae are the receptors. Macula and cristae are the receptor and sensitive to the position of the head. They are sensitive for the position of the head with respect to the gravity. And in the last I have drawn the diagram of ear for you. So you might be seeing this diagram. This is a external ear part, and this is called as a auricle or pinna, and this round structure is called as a helix region. And you might be seeing that followed this outermost part, that is ear pinna, and this elevation help in the trapping of the sound waves, and the sound waves are with the help of this ear pinna is trapped and sent into the auditory canal, and auditory canal pushes towards this tympanic membrane or eardrum, and this eardrum moves forward, and that will shift this in middle ear. There is having the presence of three ossicles, malleus, incus and stapes, and these last stapes will push the towards the that vibration towards the oval window, and this oval window is actually situated in the scala vestibuli, and that vibration is carried out by the fluid which is filled in the scala vestibuli, that is perilymph. And this movement of the this vibration carries in this scala vestibuli will carry, and that organ of corti will do the movement, and the bending of the organ of corti take place, and that will touch to the sensory neurons, and these sensory neurons will carry impulse towards the brain. And actually this whatever the vibration takes, that ends into the, there is having another window at the base, that is called as a round window. Here is presence of round window, and this round window is actually present in the scala tympani. Actually round window scala tympani, and oval window in the scala vestibuli. So you should know that. So this is a tympanic cavity, and this tympanic cavity is filled with the ear, and you are seeing their eardrum. Then again these three semicircular canals, and inside that semicircular ducts are present. This is the anterior semicircular canal, this is the posterior, and this one is the lateral. So This vestibular nerve, cochlear nerve, together that is called as the auditory nerve or vestibulocochlear nerve. Actually, we have discussed. This is a TS of this internal ear. That is a part of the cochlea. That is a TS, transverse section of the cochlea. Inside, you might be seeing this is a this is a scala vestibuli. This is a cochlear duct or scala media, and this is a that is a tympanic canal, and there is having this is presence of organ of corti. This is a organ of corti present, and this is the auditory nerve, that human internal ear part. And in this we are going to discuss about that is a semicircular canal. This one is the this is a endolymphatic sac. In this, endolymph is present in this. This is a cochlear part, this is semicircular, this is a ampulla vestibular region. There is having the presence of utricule and saccule. In ampulla there is having the sensory part, that is a cristae, and in this ampulla there is a sensory part, that is a utricule and saccule. They do the work of maintaining the balance. So thank you.